Hi, it's me, Nico. And today I'm going to talk to you about a special type of woman. A type of woman I don't truly understand. Another one of those, I know. Um, well, you know, I didn't used to use my aunt as an example for these things, but since we're not on speaking terms, I will go ahead and use her. And here goes. My aunt, um, we're going to just call her Auntie J. Let's just give her a letter. Auntie J was abused and misused by the men in her family. I'm going to put it that way. Later on in life, she would tend to date men that, in a way, remind her of her brother and father because the traits that she saw in them, the traits that she sees in the men that she dates, are things that she sees as strength, their stubbornness, their aggressive nature, their stubbornness in a stance, the way that they stick to what they believe in, they're hardcore about it. They will not waver. They're very steadfast, and they're very protective and shielding. But what I learned in my abusive relationship was that sometimes when we think that the person is being protective, they are not. They are in fact being possessive. Totally different word. Seems a lot like very similar, but they're not the same. They're very much not the same. And what I don't understand is how other women do not see that as being a thing. And they continuously fall for guys who are like that, who are possessive rather than protective. And they don't understand why these guys turn around and beat the living shit out of them on a regular basis, or why they cheat on them, or why they treat them like shit. And then they sit there and they're like, but I don't know why you keep going out with guys who you treat like shit. Well, I don't, first of all, because I don't actively date, okay? I mess around with guys, and they know I'm messing around with them, and then I kind of toss them out like toilet paper, but they know that it's going to happen. And so therefore, since the communication is there and I am honest about these things, I don't use them and I don't abuse them. It's an open and honest exchange, okay? With her, however, she falls into these relationships where she forces herself to feel like she's falling in love with them, and very much like I did in my only two marriages. I kept trying to convince myself that I was in love with them, so that way eventually it would happen, that I would fall in love with them. So I see her going in through that same regimen. She likes the guy because he's protective, and she says she's in love with him because she wants to convince herself that she's in love with him, but she isn't really in love with him. And she continuously falls into this pattern with literally every man that she's ever dated. And so when they beat the shit out of her, she's so surprised, she's so in shock, and I don't understand that. Because it's literally, she's dating her father. Every single time she hooks up with another guy, she's dating her fucking father. Why do I hook up with guys who I can twist into a pretzel and beat up if I had to? Because I've been there and I've done that. Okay? Like, I don't want to end up with a guy who's going to think that he can beat the shit out of me, because I still have the baseball bat I beat the shit out of the first guy with. I keep it as a souvenir. And I reflect upon it every once in a while when I think of becoming stupid and going on and hooking up with a guy that reminds me of the idiot who was possessive and beat the shit out of me. See, I don't understand how other women don't make that kind of connection and stop going with the guys who are going to beat the shit out of him, because, well, you know where I'm going with this. I'm just confused by these types of women who perpetually put themselves into that sort of position because they think that the guy is going to be protective and protect them, when clearly these guys have anger management issues and aren't protective. They're possessive. They want to own you, not be by your side as your partner. They want you as their property. And you can tell this by how fast they say I love you. Yeah, that's right. How clingy they become If they start calling and texting all of the time, yeah, I know you girls like that shit, but it's not okay because that's obsessive. When they are obsessive, they are also possessive. Okay? You are allowing this man to completely gaslight you and love bomb you, and then you wonder why he turns around and beats the shit out of you when you didn't do anything. It's because the guy's a fucking psycho. And you're allowing him into your life. And you're doing it over and over again because you're dating the same guy. You're dating your dad. Stop doing that. Date a guy who's actually nice to you. Date a guy who you actually find attractive, not one who looks like Bruce Willis or Charles Bronson, because those types of guys, for the most part, are the types of guys who are going to beat the shit out of you too. Because, you know, when they kick the shit out of the bad guys and they come home, they're still aggressive. And they think of you as a possession, something they can beat and break, and they can go out and get another one. So, my advice to you girls is stop being so damn confusing. Stop working against yourselves. You're like the Republicans who are poor. Yay, we're going to vote for someone who's going to raise our taxes and put us out on the street in the poorhouse. Oh, yeah. I don't understand any of you people. I really don't. And on that note, I'm going to let you guys go now because I feel a serious, severe rant going on, and I don't want to insult everybody. So I'm going to go, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.